In our final clip of the week, JR, good old Jim Ross, interviews you and Bobby about your participation because you guys are going to participate in this NWA Tag Team Tournament. And as you might suspect, you do most of the talking in this one, but Bobby comes in clutch in this one. But you don't have to believe me. In our fourth and final clip of the week, let's listen to Arn and Bobby and what they have to say about the NWA Tag Team Tournament. This is from the main event, May 31st, 1992.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to TBS and the main event. The action continues with Tony Schiavone and Magnum TA just a little bit later in the broadcast. But on Monday night, June 22nd, you can see it right here on TBS, 8:05 Eastern Time. The NWA Tag Team Tournament, the number 3 seed, Arn Anderson and beautiful Bobby Eaton will take on Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham in the first round. And I find it very hard to believe, Arn, that Rhodes and Windham are unseeded.
They're one of the best teams in the world. How can they not be seeded? That's another ploy on WCW's part. Windham is probably the best big man in this business. Dustin Rhodes, the fastest rising young star. They're a tremendous team. What can you say about it?
Bobby, got anything to add to that?
Nothing, Jim.
All right, well, thanks, Bob. And if you are fortunate in winning your match with Windham and Rhodes, and if your teammates, Stunning Steve Austin and Ravishing Rick Rude, are successful against the Z-Man and Marcus Alexander Bagwell, that means you're going to wrestle your teammates in the second round. How do you feel about that?
Well, there is no if. I'm confident Rude and Austin are going to win their match. And I'm also confident of the fact in our business relationship, in order to advance themselves, we turn our back on them, they'll drop us like a bad habit.
Well, I want to ask you one other question, Arn. Do you feel like it is a mistake by Paul E. Dangerously to put 2 teams in this tournament, knowing that they would eventually wrestle each other if you kept winning?
Well, to be honest with you, Jim Ross, it's a no-lose situation for Paul E. Dangerously. He's got 2 teams. One team is going to be the winner of the tournament. So he is going to advance either way it goes financially. I think he's a very smart man in what he's done.
Well, it's an interesting situation. Bobby, got anything to add to that?
Nothing, Jim.
Okay, Bob. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember the date. Monday,
Awesome.
June 22nd, 8:05 Eastern Time. The NWA Tag Team Tournament starts here on TBS. It will be Anderson and Eaton taking on Windham and Rhodes in the first round. And we'll be back with more right here on TBS in the main event right after this timeout.
All right, hold on. We're going to watch this. Hold on.
How can they not be seeded? That's a...
In the first round, and I find it very hard to believe, Arn, that Rhodes and Windham are unseeded.
They're one of the best. That's
Where was
another
it?
WW's part. Wyndham is in this.
I want to watch it
the
one more
fastest.
time.
How can they not?
Arn, that Barry Windham in the first round.
Where
and
was
Barry
it?
Windham in the lead. Arn
Oh.
Anderson and beautiful Bobby Eaton will take Arn.
Be seated. That's another ploy on WCW's part. Wyndham is probably the best big man in this business. Dustin Rhodes, the fastest rising young star. They're a tremendous team. What can you say about it?
Bobby, got anything to add to that?
Nothing, Jim.
All right, well, thanks, Bob. And
That was classic. And listen, thanks, Bob. T-shirts are coming to boxofgimmicks.com soon. Thanks, Bob.
Very nice.
That was so funny. Oh, man. But that's Bob Eaton in a nutshell, isn't it?
The sweetness, I guess is the word, just comes out of his pores. If you can't look at that and just feel what a great guy Bobby Eaton is, I mean, that's just the way it strikes me. He's just, it's understated, humble, whatever adjective you want to come up with.
And, buddy, he knew his best stuff took place in the ring and that you and JR would take care of business on the mic, you know?
Yep.
You covered all the points. You put your opponents over. You talked about the upcoming events. And as we've said over and over again, it's just we just sit and get under the learning tree of the enforcer and enjoy that. And Bobby was there to kind of do his thing in the ring, and that's why you two were such a fun tag team together.
Yeah, he didn't have to worry about doing any talking. I had him covered.
There you go.